Hey, you're listening to the Coffee O'Clock podcast, the show that brings you joy and inspiration, with special guests from all around the world who have an amazing story and expertise to evolve your personal and professional life. I am your host, Burcu Onaranel, the founder of Joy Marketing and Coaching. Make sure you grab your coffee and get ready to explore new ideas. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. The Coffee O'Clock podcast having the best guest as name because her name is Joy, and you all know my company is Joy with two Y's. But she is a forensic business strategist, and I will share briefly, but she will explain more what she does. But she has an impressive background. She's a confident and driven CEO of Joyful Solutions, a highly successful business consulting company. With her sharp mind and relentless determination, Joy has not only helped numerous businesses reach their full potential, but she has also achieved great success as an entrepreneur herself. We will talk more, but I want to welcome her first. Welcome, Joy. Let's do cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. Oh, I like this side better.
Ah, yes. Now we can see your picture too. Welcome.
Definitely. Thanks for having me. I mean, I love coffee and I love talking, so this works out great.
Perfect space. Yes. I introduced you just a little bit, but can you introduce yourself more to our audience?
Sure. So I'm Joy Harris from North Carolina in America, and I am a forensic business strategist / fractional COO. I love to come into a business and look at it like an onion and peel back all the different layers to get to the root of the problems. Because whether a business wants to admit it or not, most of them have something that's not working well. They just might not even be aware of it. And because I was the secretary to the CEO before in a company, I could go in and look at things differently because I had those different positions where other people that were, like they say, looking in the pickle jar. Like if you're inside the pickle jar, you can't read the label. So they can't always see what's going on. Yes. So that's when I can come in and help peel that apart.
I love your metaphors. I love that's so true. When we are in it, we can't see what's happening. And that's why every coach needs a coach. That's why every business needs a consultant or somebody really creates strategies for them. It's so important. And you mentioned, like, I probably never met someone who was a secretary before and then came out with this, become this valuable and impressive person. So I want to ask you, like, how did it all happen? How did
How did I become a COO? Well, so because I had been the secretary and in a company and I worked my way up. I'm a very quick learner and I get things and I find ways to make things easier or make them run better. And my first company, when I moved to North Carolina, I developed relationships with some of the people that I trained and that I worked with. So fast forward, we all leave the company, go to different positions in different companies. One of my friends was working across the street from a business that I was working in at the time. We decided to have lunch. She tells me about what she's doing and that they're looking for a maintenance company. And I smacked her on the arm. I was like, well, we can do that because my ex-husband was a carpenter. I said, we can do that. She's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Right. So it goes back to people don't always think about who you are and what you do. Sometimes you have to remind them. So she got us a meeting with her boss. They hired us, and 25 years later, we are still doing maintenance and repairs for people. So I had lunch with somebody, and what I did was I heard the problem and I provided a solution, and that's what a business does.
True. Very true. I love it. What a story. Like very, very, I mean, when you think of the carpenter and it's just very interesting that it becomes this. And I just love your name and your company name. And I think nobody will say no to you. I don't want joy in my life. They probably say, yes, please help me. I want to work with you because you are the joy. And today, you said it's been 25 years. I assume today you're doing the same thing, but what else you're doing today? Can you dive in a little bit more?
So I still have the general contracting company, again, which is the first business that I started. have had that for the 25 years. And I'm also I'm doing the Joyful Solutions, fractional COOing and business strategies, because I realized that that was the thing that lit me up the most when I was an employee and going in and figure out what was wrong and fixing it and doing the same thing now. I love being able to provide solutions to people and watch that aha moment when they're like, it's going to be okay. My business isn't going to sink, or I can grow. Because sometimes a person has an idea for a business and they start a business, but then they don't know how to actually grow. They don't know how to put in structure like policies, procedures, protocols, some of the basic things that somebody who may have gone to college or learned at a larger company, some of those people don't know that. So that's when I can come. I had a conversation this morning with a guy who's a pressure washing company. He's successful, been in business for 20 years, but there's a lot of things he doesn't have in place for him to grow, retire, or sell. So we're going to come in, we're going to set up the onion, we're going to peel it apart, and we're going to help him launch forward.
It's amazing the way you explain, and I know the value of it. But we also know so many people who know that they need help, they have problem, but they still reject the help, or they refuse to pay. They don't want to hire people to do what you're doing, because what you're doing is very, very valuable, but at the same time, it might seem a luxury position for so many people, because it's a consulting, it's coaching, so it's different than a regular job. So how do you convince people? That's what I am curious.
So I show them right up front some of the pain points that they probably have, that they know they have, but they haven't thought about or haven't discussed with anybody. And when I can say, have you done this, or this, or have you thought about going this way or doing this, and why I wouldn't go a direction, it makes them think and be like, I do need her on my team, because she gets what I'm talking about. She understands business, and what she's saying to me is new, and that's something I want to do.
Yes. And how old are you, by the way, Joy?
I'm 56.
You're frozen.
I'm 56. Can you hear? Are we unfroze?
50. Yes, now you're back. You're
All right.
56.
Yep.
I admire when people, not saying like you're old, but I admire when people are energetic and doing business at your age or even older, because sometimes I feel like this is so hard to be in business, to be an entrepreneur or business owner and do these things, because you have to be the person always seek clients. If you don't work, if there is no you, then nobody is going to pay you. So it's very, very stressful, but at the same time, it's very joyful too. Like, how do you motivate yourself? Like, I don't know if you experience this, but most of the entrepreneurs, because I work with entrepreneurs, and most of them, and myself included, have those times where you have no clients. Like, have you ever experienced that, and how did you motivate yourself?
Well, of course, there's always going to be times whether you're going to have clients or not. So it's get back out and work your relationships. I'm currently writing a book called ROI Squared, which instead of is going to be about relationships over income. When you develop relationships with people and you become the know, like, trust person, then your business will grow organically. I've not had one that hasn't grown organically by doing that. I didn't need to spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. I had to be who I said I was going to be, show up and do the things. And it was funny with the business with construction, because I'm a woman-owned business, we understand customer service a little bit different than men. And so mostly women were calling to make these appointments. And so they got excited when we showed up on time. We didn't make them wait and give them a window of 4 hours. We're like, we'll be there at 10. If we're not there at 10, call me and I'm going to hunt them down and find out where they are. So it's going just a little bit above and beyond what everybody else might be doing that sets you aside.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, because being authentic and doing what you're saying is the key for success. I always say this to my clients too, and I've seen in myself too. I never did sales pitch. I never cold call people. I always had people. people always came to me, like you said, people come to me because of my energy, people come to me because I work hard and I keep my promises and everything. So I think it's important to share it too, because most of the people, most of my audience, they are either entrepreneurs or they want to become one, and the ones that want to become one are on the edge because they are in their comfort zone with the 9 to 5 and all the things that they're buying and doing, and they feel like if they leave that, there's this uncertainty and they don't know how to make it happen. So do you have any advice to those people?
Absolutely. No job is guaranteed. You can be working for somebody today and they can close the door tomorrow. So it's
Yes.
no, the difference is having a little bit more control over your schedule, your life, your finances, right? You don't have to go ask somebody for a raise. You can ask, you can do your own bonuses. You can take your vacations when you want, not when they want to let you go. And even though you're working for yourself, everybody is still working for somebody. So instead of me working for my boss, now my clients are my bosses. I'm working to make them happy.
Yes. And this also meets the point you wanted to share, that people are not alone if they have challenges in their life or if they have a problem in their business. You're here to provide them solution.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of in Turkey we call it like mommy side of you, because the mommy side, I don't know if this is universal, but the mommy side means you're very caring and you want to help people. Like you're there when somebody needs help. And I see you as a mom for businesses because you're there when they need help, when they need to to find a solution for something. So how do you work with people? I'm curious.
So I work with them either remotely. So if they're not local, we can do things via Zoom, which is great to have this kind of technology. If I,
Mhm.
I have some local customers where I can go to their office and help them on site. So however it works for the client is what we'll do. It's just distance. It's not, there's nothing that can't be done to get people together to get something fixed. So
Mhm.
whether we're doing it via Zoom or in person, anything can happen, and it's going to be different from every client.
Mhm. Yes. Let's say there is a person who has a business and needs help, but they're not ready to invest in you or something. I'm sure you've had this scenario all the time because I have it too. It's
Always.
they need help, but they are afraid to spend money and all that. So I want to ask you, like, maybe what would be a piece of advice you can tell them? There is something wrong in their business. They don't know what it is, but they're also not ready to go all in to make a solution. Like, what would you tell them to look for the first
To
thing?
get them to go all in, you mean, or just in general?
In general, like, what would be the first thing you would tell them to look at in their business?
I would tell them to go look at a time or a place in their business where they were successful and see if they're still doing that. And if they're not, go back and do it.
Mm,
A lot of times as a business grows, they forget how they got there. They forgot what they did, or like, oh, we don't need to do that anymore because we're doing this. So go back to your basics.
mm-hmm. Yeah, great one. Great one. I always go back to the why. Why did you start? Because that's something I also come like face with the entrepreneurs. They focus on the money, and then like they want to create banners, campaigns, and all that. So we do everything, and then nothing is happening, and they're like, but it's not happening because they forget why they started what they're doing today. They forgot the spark they had, and their energy is all for money, and it's not working.
Yep. Because that's not always the right way, reason to develop, right? What solution are you solving? That's why you started a business.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. What
Always
is
go.
maybe what is the number one common mistake you've seen in business owners? Like you got in and you started reading the pickle jar. Like what is the most common mistake they make?
I would say the most common is that they're not paying attention to their structure. Going from how does the call come in, or the communication email or whatever, how is it being processed in the inside, and then what's happening as it's going out, depending on what it is. And when there's a problem, are you stopping to figure out what caused the problem? Or are you just fixing the problem and moving along? So to give you an example, one of my clients had been in business for 25 years, and they were a cleaning company. So I said, I want to see all your contracts. What day of the week do they get done and how long do they take? So I made a spreadsheet with that information, and then I put it up on a whiteboard in his office. And I said, I can see where the problem is now. Can you see where the problem is? He's like, oh, yes, because, Monday was like this, Tuesday was like this, and then the rest of the days were average. There was no way possible he could do all the jobs that had to be done on a Tuesday. So as he was growing and just, moving fast, didn't stop to make sure that the jobs could still be done. And when he was receiving complaints, he would just put out the fire, but not say, why do we keep having this problem? Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop a little bit. When you're the owner, you need to stop sometimes and say, wait a minute, is everything working okay? And if it's not, why? Use the why in a different way. Not why did I start, but why am I having this situation?
Yes. And you're basically showing them the big picture. You're taking them out from whatever the chaos they are in, and they are looking at it as a big picture, and then how clearly see it.
Sure.
That's how.
And then the real change can happen then. And again, pull back all those layers of the onion to get to that problem.
Yes. Let's just hope Onion is still alive.
He actually ended up selling his business. He grew it to sell it, and he did. So
yeah,
that was the goal. And that's the other thing, is knowing what's your end goal. Is your end goal to retire from the business, sell the business, hand it down to family? Like, you need to have an end plan in mind.
True. Very true.
You're not doing it anymore, or don't want to do it anymore.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
Joy, it's been wonderful to talk with a real Joy. Because I created my own Joy, calling my company Joy, and people started calling me Joy as my nickname. So it's great when I meet with a person whose name is Joy. I always love the energy, and I really admire what you're doing, your personality, your professionalism, everything. So lastly, I always ask this to my guests: what would be the one sentence you would want to leave our audience? What would you say?
I would say, don't be afraid to invest in yourself and your business for you to see real change and growth. You have to invest in yourself to see it happen. So when you're on that fence, like we were talking about earlier, the best thing that I did was invest in getting, like you said, coaches have coaches, athletes have coaches. How do we stop having somebody be there as a mentor and help us get through and navigate things?
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes, just do it, like the Nike. Yes.
Yeah.
How people can find you, and if you have any upcoming events or something exciting happening, please share.
We don't have any events right at the moment because we're too busy working with clients, helping them solve, be the solution to their problems. But you can find me on Facebook, and I think you have my links that they can post up there, or you can find me at yourjoyfulsolutions.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in, who is listening or watching. Don't forget to share and leave us a review. Thank you, Joy.
Be the solution.
Yes, love it. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and now you can apply it to your life. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the Coffee O'Clock podcast on Apple and leave us a review. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you feel like someone needs to listen to this episode, share it on your social media or text the link to that person to make an impact in their life. Be sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes. You can also watch the episodes and find more inspiration on my Instagram, which is at JOYYBURCU. Until next time, make sure to spend some time with you and stay with joy.